Namaste Acharya ji. I am Nandini Bajaj. I am a second year undergraduate for the Department of Geology and Geophysics at IIT Kharagpur. And my question is, at like you mentioned about Vedanta. At my age, should I start reading about it?
Oh,
Will I be?
you haven't yet started?
No, sir.
Oh, it's too late.
Okay. Sir,
Too late.
how?
What do you mean by how? How did you?
No, not how. Like my question is how I'll be like I was not very sure whether I'll be able to digest it or not.
How did you decide on that even without trying, Nandini? Please. Which all scriptures have you laid your hands on?
So almost none.
And having tried on none, you concluded that it's too early for you to start or that it's too difficult for you to start.
Sir, like in my family, my parents they taught me about Bhagwad Gita and all, but then I like at initially I used to find it irrelevant, and in past 6 months you can say I was like, okay, I should once try it, but I was not ready. Okay, this is the time I should start reading it maybe.
You know, if there is a compulsory 20 credit course on the Upanishads, you will not only read the Upanishads but even try to secure an A, right? The moment you know it carries 20 credits, you will forget all your hesitation. That's how we are, you know. If it gives me placement and money and CGPA, I will read. Poor Bhagwad Gita, it's not there in the curricula. The placements are not linked to it. No employer asks you, have you read Sankhya Yoga? What is the difference between Nishkam Karma and Vairagya? Nobody asks you these things. Why don't they ask these things? Because they themselves don't know a thing. They themselves are in deep delusion. So they do not know what to really look for in a candidate. And they also know that if there is a candidate who actually knows the answers to the right questions, then that candidate will never appear for their interview, let alone join their company. So that's the ecosystem you are in. Why do you want to become another victim of that ecosystem? Your ecosystem is never going to drive you to the Gita or Upanishads or anything of any worth. Isn't it upon you now as a mature adult to see that life is not just about the stuff that your courses contain? I have all the respect for what is taught in our institutions, but I have greater respect for life and liberation from it. Technology and profession are a very small part of who you are. Life is a much bigger affair. Life is not about dealing with machines. Life is first of all dealing with yourself and realizing that there is a deep need within waiting to be addressed. Resnick, Halliday or Irodov are not going to address that need. Are you getting it?
Sir, but sometimes I feel like even if I'm reading a shlok or something, sometimes like there's this feel that maybe I'll not be able to apply that at a greater extent because of lack of my vision or maturity.
Where do you think you can apply Fourier series? Where all have you already applied Laplace transformation? Please tell me. Please. 90% of the things I read at IIT I could never apply anywhere. I still read them. But when it comes to the Gita, you say, oh, I do not know where to apply them, therefore I am not reading those things. Where in your life have you already applied even complex numbers? Please tell me. Square root of -1. What have you done so far with it? But you know all about complex numbers, right? In the first year, there would have been an entire course on complex numbers, and you went through it and probably secured an A or A neg, and wow, well done. Then you do not ask, but is it going to be of any practical use? Then you do not ask. I am not insinuating that the stuff we are taught at IIT is not of practical use. Obviously, it is. Obviously, everything has its use. Obviously, without the Fourier transformation, this laptop cannot exist. My question is not whether those things are useful. My question is, the question that you ask with respect to the Gita, why do you never ask it with respect to the other things that are taught to you? How many students ask this question to their professors, sir, this that you are teaching to me right now, will it ever be useful in my real life, in my professional life? Computer science graduates are taught basic science courses in chemistry, are they not? How is it there? First year, don't you have a chemistry course even for com science graduates? Now, why don't the com science graduates ask, sir, what will you do with chemistry? I am not saying they will have nothing to do with chemistry or that knowledge won't be useful, it would be useful, but you never ask. You take it on trust that if this is being given to me to study, it surely must be having some use somewhere. But when it comes to spirituality, there is a great distrust, and that great distrust has been implanted in you by your ecosystem, by the media, by the education, by everything that comes to our mind and affects it. They tell you if you read mathematics, it will give you happiness by giving you some success, money. If you read economics, it will be of some use to you. Even if you read current affairs, you will gain in knowledge. Even if you read erotica, you will at least gain some pleasure. But Bhagwad Gita and Upanishads, they give you nothing, neither success nor pleasure. So, who wants to read them? We might worship them, but we do not want to read them. At least try, and when you will try, you will find that they are not giving you knowledge, they are addressing the very person you are. They are addressing everything that you relate yourself to, your name, your desires, your feelings, your choices, your livelihood, your relationships, your family, your very existence. Now, your very existence obviously is much more important than the technologies you know of. No? What is of more importance to you? The fact that you, the fact that you exist, or the fact that you have knowledge about a certain technology. Gita, Vedanta, and all texts of wisdom address who you are. We do not know who we are. Our very existence is hazy. One thing is certain, you are not what you think you are. You are not what you operate as. You are not what you are so confident about. Therefore, all of us are very dangerously placed. We do not know who we are, yet we continue to operate as if we know. It is an extremely precarious position. If you do not know where you are standing, if you do not know a thing about what is going on, do you want to choose, decide and move ahead? Makes no sense, right? Before you do anything, before you think anything, before you allow yourself to feel anything, must you not know something about yourself? But that is the vacuum we operate in. Without knowing the very facts of our existence, we continue to live, eat, walk, choose, decide, that too confidently. What does all that result in? Just total wastage of this precious life.
So then it means like what I feel is ki our self-image is greatly influenced by what others think who we are, what this ecosystem thinks.
Exactly, what others think who you are and what your body wants you to believe in. Others will tell you you are a smart girl.
And I'll start believing it more and more. People will start telling it.
Your body tells you you are a girl. Both of these are not necessarily true. By that I do not mean that you are not smart or that you are a boy. Others tell you things about yourself. The body gives you, in a very deceitful way, your basic identity as a body. And we continue to trust these two cheaters and operate as per the education, the advice received from them. That's like writing an examination in somebody else's name. If you write your examination as Rekha, what will you get? So, if you live your life as your body, what will you get? You went to write the JEE, right? You wrote it in somebody else's name. What do you get?
Nothing.
That's how we all live. We live as the body. The body might be getting some pleasure or something. I do not know what it gets. Ultimately, it turns to ashes. But for sure, you do not get anything.
Sir, by that, do you mean our soul do not get anything out of it?
You are not your soul. You are not your body.
Then who we are?
Go to the Gita. It's already too late, I said. If you are talking to me, one of the options is to go to my website, put in your name. We have initiated a program to send the Upanishads to whosoever enrolls with us. Within a month or two, you will receive a copy of the Sarasara Upanishad. It might answer some of your questions. It's a free copy, so you may just go there and enter your details and you will receive it. And if you do not want to wait for a few months, then you may enroll in some of the Gita courses that we have, that might help. Or you may decide to just begin with your own copy of the Gita. Whatsoever you decide, just begin.
Thank you so much, Acharya ji.